Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of testing us, pushing us to the very edge. Pain is inevitable. It arrives uninvited, shakes our world, and leaves scars. But the real question is, will you let it break you, or will you use it to build yourself? Pain is a teacher, not an enemy. It is one of the most profound and unavoidable aspects of human existence, yet we often perceive it as something to escape from, rather than something to learn from. Pain comes in different forms: physical, emotional, and psychological. But no matter how it manifests, it carries within it the seeds of growth, transformation, and resilience. If we shift our perspective and begin to see pain as a teacher rather than an adversary, we unlock the power to turn our struggles into stepping stones toward a more profound and meaningful life. Pain is often misunderstood. Society teaches us to avoid discomfort at all costs, to seek happiness, pleasure, and ease while shunning struggle and suffering. But the truth is that pain holds the potential to shape us in ways that comfort never could. When we experience hardships, we are forced to confront our vulnerabilities, our limitations, and our fears. These moments, though deeply challenging, serve as opportunities for introspection and self-discovery. Without pain, we might never pause to question who we truly are or what we are capable of. One of the most powerful lessons pain teaches us is resilience. It is easy to be strong when life is smooth, but true strength is forged in adversity. When we go through difficulties, we learn to endure, to adapt, and to persist. Every setback and heartbreak strengthens our ability to navigate the uncertainties of life. If we allow it, pain can become the force that pushes us forward rather than the weight that holds us back. It is through pain that we cultivate patience, endurance, and an unshakable inner strength that no amount of ease or comfort could ever provide. Pain also teaches us empathy. When we experience suffering, we develop a deeper understanding of what it means to be human. We become more compassionate toward others who are struggling because we have walked that path ourselves. Our wounds connect us to the world in ways that joy alone never could. A person who has never faced hardship may struggle to understand the depth of another's sorrow, but those who have known pain can offer genuine support and kindness. Pain reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, and that our shared experiences unite us. Furthermore, pain forces us to grow. It challenges us to evolve, to step out of our comfort zones, and to embrace change. Growth is never easy, and often it requires discomfort. Just as muscles must be broken down through exercise to become stronger, our spirit must endure challenges to become more resilient. When we are confronted with pain, we are given a choice: to remain stagnant in our suffering or to rise above it and allow it to shape us into better versions of ourselves. Some of the most successful and inspiring individuals in history have endured great pain, using it as fuel to achieve extraordinary things. They did not allow their hardships to break them. Instead, they transformed their struggles into something meaningful. Pain also teaches us gratitude. When we have faced darkness, we appreciate the light even more. When we have endured loss, we cherish what remains. When we have suffered, we no longer take joy for granted. Pain deepens our appreciation for life's simple pleasures and reminds us of the fleeting nature of both suffering and happiness. It is often in our most difficult moments that we learn to truly value what we have. A person who has never experienced hunger may not fully appreciate a meal, but someone who has known starvation understands its worth. In the same way, pain allows us to see life through a lens of gratitude, recognizing the beauty in the things we once overlooked. Another crucial lesson pain imparts is that of self-discovery. In moments of suffering, we are stripped of our illusions and forced to confront our true selves. We discover strengths we never knew we had, as well as weaknesses we must work on. Pain reveals our priorities, showing us what truly matters and what is merely superficial. It compels us to reevaluate our choices, relationships, and beliefs, pushing us toward authenticity. It is in our darkest hours that we find clarity about who we are and what we truly want from life. Pain also has the power to humble us. It reminds us that no one is immune to suffering and that life's challenges do not discriminate. No matter how strong, successful, or privileged we may be, we will all face hardship at some point. This realization fosters humility, teaching us that we are not invincible, and that we must approach life with an open heart. It strips away arrogance and replaces it with a sense of unity, reminding us that everyone we meet is fighting their own battles. Perhaps one of the most overlooked gifts of pain is its ability to inspire transformation. Many of the world's greatest works of art, literature, and music were born from suffering. Pain has a way of awakening creativity, pushing individuals to express their emotions in ways that resonate with others. It fuels passion and purpose, driving people to make a difference. Some of the most impactful movements in history were sparked by pain, by individuals who turned their suffering into a force for change. Rather than allowing pain to consume them, they used it as a catalyst to inspire, uplift, and transform the world around them. Pain also teaches us acceptance. There are some things in life that we cannot control, no matter how much we wish we could. Loss, heartbreak, failure. These experiences are inevitable. Fighting against pain only prolongs our suffering, but when we accept it, we begin to heal. Acceptance does not mean giving up. Rather, it means recognizing that pain is a part of life and choosing to move forward despite it. When we stop resisting pain and start embracing it as a teacher, we open ourselves up to profound wisdom and growth. It is important to remember that pain is temporary. No matter how intense or unbearable it may seem in the moment, it will pass. Time has a way of softening even the deepest wounds. What once felt insurmountable eventually becomes a memory, a lesson that shaped us into who we are. Looking back, we often realize that the moments of greatest pain were also the moments of greatest transformation. They were the times that defined our character, tested our resilience, and ultimately led us to something greater. Pain is not the enemy. It is a guide, a mentor, and a force of nature that shapes us in ways we cannot always see in the moment. It is through our struggles that we find our strength, through our heartbreaks that we learn to love more deeply, and through our losses that we learn to truly appreciate what we have. Pain is not here to destroy us. It is here to mold us into the people we were meant to become. When we stop viewing pain as something to fear and start embracing it as a teacher, we take away its power to break us. Instead, we allow it to build us. Every wound carries a lesson, every hardship a hidden blessing. If we choose to see pain not as an enemy but as a guide, we unlock the true potential within ourselves. And in that moment, we realize that pain was never here to defeat us. It was here to make us stronger. Adversity builds strength. It is one of the universal truths of life that no one is exempt from challenges, difficulties, and hardships. While many people see adversity as something negative, something to be avoided, the reality is that it serves as the foundation for growth, resilience, and transformation. Strength is not born in comfort. It is forged in the fires of struggle. The more we endure, the more we grow, and the stronger we become. Life has a way of testing us, pushing us beyond our limits and forcing us to confront our deepest fears and weaknesses. However, it is in these moments of difficulty that we find out who we truly are. Adversity teaches us lessons that we would never learn in times of ease. When everything is going smoothly, we may never have the opportunity to discover our true potential. But when we face hardship, we are forced to dig deep within ourselves to find reserves of strength and courage that we never knew existed. The challenges we encounter push us to adapt, to evolve, and to develop the mental, emotional, and even physical fortitude necessary to overcome obstacles. Every setback, every failure, and every disappointment adds another layer to our strength, making us more capable of handling the trials that come our way in the future. There is a reason why the most inspiring and successful individuals in the world have all faced adversity at some point in their lives. Their stories are not defined by the difficulties they encountered, but by the way they chose to respond to them. They did not allow adversity to break them. Instead, they used it as a stepping stone toward greatness. Whether it is an athlete who has trained relentlessly after a devastating injury, an entrepreneur who has failed multiple times before achieving success, or an artist who has endured rejection after rejection before finally being recognized. The pattern is the same. Adversity strengthens those who refuse to give up. One of the most important ways adversity builds strength is by teaching us resilience. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how much we plan, there will always be moments when things do not go as expected. If we are never tested, we may never develop the ability to recover from setbacks. However, when we experience hardship, we learn how to pick ourselves up, how to keep going, even when everything seems to be working against us. Resilience is the ability to keep moving forward despite obstacles, to adapt to changing circumstances, and to find solutions even in the face of failure. Without adversity, we would never develop this crucial skill. Another way adversity builds strength is by fostering self-reliance. When everything is easy, we may become dependent on external circumstances for our happiness and success. However, when we face difficulties, we realize that we must rely on ourselves to push through. We learn that true strength does not come from external sources, but from within. We begin to trust our instincts, to believe in our abilities, and to develop a sense of confidence that no external force can shake. The more we face adversity, the more we learn to trust ourselves and our ability to navigate through life's challenges. Adversity also has a way of revealing our true character. It is easy to be kind, patient, and optimistic when life is going well, but it is in difficult times that our true nature is tested. Do we remain compassionate when we are struggling? Do we hold on to our values even when things are tough? Adversity strips away the superficial and reveals who we really are. It gives us an opportunity to grow, to refine our character, and to become the kind of person we aspire to be. Every challenge presents a choice. We can allow it to make us bitter, or we can use it to become better. Hardships also teach us gratitude. When we have never faced difficulties, we may take the good things in life for granted. However, when we experience adversity, we develop a deeper appreciation for the moments of joy, for the people who support us, and for the simple blessings that we may have overlooked before. A person who has never known struggle may not understand the true value of success. But someone who has fought through difficulties knows how precious every achievement is. Adversity teaches us to be grateful not only for the good times, but also for the lessons learned during the hard times. Another way adversity builds strength is by pushing us out of our comfort zones. Growth never happens in a place of comfort. If we never face challenges, we remain stagnant, never realizing our full potential. Adversity forces us to adapt, to learn new skills, to find new ways of thinking, and to push beyond our self-imposed limits. Every time we overcome an obstacle, we expand our capabilities and develop a greater sense of confidence in our abilities. What once seemed impossible suddenly becomes achievable because we have already endured and conquered so much. Many of the greatest innovations, breakthroughs, and achievements in history have come from adversity. It is in moments of struggle that people are forced to think differently, to find creative solutions, and to push the boundaries of what is possible. Necessity is the mother of invention, and many of the most significant advancements in science, technology, and society have been driven by the need to overcome challenges. Adversity forces us to think critically, to persevere, and to find new ways of achieving our goals. Without struggle, there will be no progress. Adversity also strengthens our relationships. When we go through difficult times, we find out who truly supports us and who does not. We develop deeper connections with those who stand by us, and we learn to appreciate the value of true friendship and loyalty. Hard times have a way of revealing the people who genuinely care for us, and this understanding strengthens our bonds with them. Additionally, adversity allows us to be more empathetic toward others who are struggling. When we have experienced pain, we are better equipped to offer kindness, support, and understanding to those who are going through similar situations. In many ways, adversity also prepares us for the future. Life is full of uncertainties, and the ability to handle difficulties is an essential skill. When we have faced hardships in the past, we become better equipped to handle whatever comes next. We develop the mindset that no matter how tough things get, we have the strength to get through it. This mindset is what allows people to take risks, to chase their dreams, and to pursue their goals with determination. They know that failure is not the end, but simply a stepping stone to success. Some of the most remarkable people in the world have turned their adversity into something meaningful. They have used their struggles as motivation to create change, to inspire others, and to leave a lasting impact. They did not allow their hardships to define them negatively. Instead, they used them as fuel to become stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. These individuals prove that adversity is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced as an opportunity for growth. No one wants to experience pain, loss, or failure, but these experiences are an inevitable part of life. Rather than resisting them, we should learn to see them as opportunities for transformation. The challenges we face today are shaping us into the strong, resilient individuals we are meant to become. Every hardship carries a lesson. Every struggle has a purpose. And every difficulty is an opportunity to grow. Adversity builds strength not by breaking us, but by showing us what we are truly capable of. And when we embrace this truth, we realize that we are far stronger than we ever imagined. Changing your perspective is one of the most powerful things you can do to transform your life. The way you see the world, the way you interpret events, and the way you react to challenges all stem from the perspective you choose to adopt. Many people go through life feeling stuck, weighed down by their circumstances, and unable to move forward simply because they are looking at things from a limiting point of view. But when you shift your perspective, everything changes. Suddenly, the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become stepping stones. The failures that once felt like the end become valuable lessons. The pain that once consumed you becomes a source of strength. Perspective is everything. And when you learn to see things differently, you unlock a new level of clarity, resilience, and purpose. Life is full of unpredictable situations. There are moments of joy and moments of sorrow, moments of success and moments of failure. But what truly determines our experience of life is not just what happens to us, but how we choose to see it. Two people can go through the exact same situation, yet experience it in completely different ways, simply because of their perspective. One person might see failure as a sign to give up, while another might see it as an opportunity to grow. One person might see a setback as a curse, while another sees it as a redirection towards something even better. The reality remains the same, but the way it is perceived changes everything. One of the most important shifts in perspective is learning to see challenges as opportunities rather than burdens. When you encounter difficulties in life, it is easy to fall into a mindset of frustration and despair. You may feel like the world is against you, like nothing is going right, and like there is no way forward. But what if, instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, you started seeing them as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to become stronger? What if every difficulty you faced was actually preparing you for something greater? The truth is, some of the most successful and inspiring people in the world have gone through immense hardships, but instead of allowing those hardships to defeat them, they use them as motivation to rise even higher. Every challenge carries within it the seeds of growth, but it is up to you to recognize them and nurture them. Another powerful shift in perspective is learning to let go of the things you cannot control. So much of our suffering comes from trying to change things that are simply beyond our power. We dwell on the past, worrying about what could have been done differently. We stress about the future, fearing things that may never even happen. We try to control the actions and opinions of others, only to be left frustrated and exhausted. But when you change your perspective and focus only on what you can control, your own thoughts, actions, and reactions, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. You begin to realize that peace comes not from controlling everything around you, but from mastering your own mindset. Gratitude is another perspective shift that has the power to change everything. It is so easy to focus on what is missing in our lives, on what we lack, and on what has gone wrong. But when you consciously choose to shift your focus to what you do have, to what is going right, and to the countless blessings that surround you every single day, you begin to experience life in a completely different way. Gratitude turns what you have into enough. It transforms even the simplest moments into sources of joy. When you start appreciating the little things, a kind word, a beautiful sunset, the ability to breathe, to walk, to experience life, you realize that happiness is not found in having more, but in appreciating what already exists. Perspective also plays a crucial role in how we see failure. Many people fear failure to the point where they avoid taking risks or pursuing their dreams altogether. But failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Every great achievement has been preceded by failures, mistakes, and setbacks. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is perspective. When you see failure as a sign to stop, you remain stuck. But when you see it as a lesson, as a necessary part of the journey, you keep moving forward, learning, adapting, and growing stronger with each setback. Some of the most successful individuals in history have faced repeated failures before finally achieving greatness. And what set them apart was their ability to see failure not as an end, but as a beginning. Another key aspect of perspective is the way we view other people and their actions. It is easy to judge, to assume the worst, and to react with anger or resentment when someone does something we don't understand. But what if, instead of jumping to conclusions, we try to see things from their point of view? What if we assumed that people are doing the best they can with what they know? What if we replaced judgment with curiosity, criticism with understanding, and resentment with compassion? When you change your perspective in this way, your relationships improve, your stress decreases, and you find it easier to navigate conflicts with grace and wisdom. One of the most liberating shifts in perspective is realizing that happiness is not something that comes from external circumstances, but from within. So many people chase happiness as if it is something to be found in the future, something that will come once they have achieved a certain goal, acquired a certain possession, or reached a certain milestone. But happiness is not a destination. It is a state of mind. It is something you can choose in this very moment, regardless of your circumstances. When you stop waiting for happiness and start cultivating it within yourself, you realize that it has been available to you all along. Perspective also has the power to transform pain and suffering. No one goes through life without experiencing loss, heartbreak, or disappointment, but the way we interpret our pain determines whether it will break us or build us. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of seeing pain as something cruel and meaningless, see it as something that is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for the next chapter of your life. Some of the most beautiful transformations happen in the midst of the deepest pain, but only if we are willing to see it that way. There is also immense power in shifting your perspective when it comes to fear. Fear often keeps people trapped, preventing them from taking action, from speaking up, from stepping into their true potential. But fear is not a sign to stop. It is a sign that you are about to grow. Instead of seeing fear as an enemy, see it as a guide. It is pointing you towards something meaningful, something that matters. When you stop running from fear and start facing it head on, you realize that most of the things you were afraid of were never as scary as they seemed. Growth lies on the other side of fear, and when you change your perspective on fear, you unlock limitless potential. At the heart of it all, changing your perspective is about shifting from a mindset of limitation to a mindset of possibility. It is about recognizing that life is not happening to you, it is happening for you. Every experience, whether good or bad, is an opportunity to learn, to evolve, and to become more of who you are meant to be. You have the power to choose how you see the world. You have the power to decide whether you will be a victim of your circumstances or a creator of your destiny. The moment you change your perspective, you change your reality, and that is where true transformation begins. Wear your scars with pride, for they are the marks of survival, resilience, and growth. Every scar, whether physical or emotional, tells a story of battles fought, challenges overcome, and pain endured. They are not signs of weakness, but of strength, a testament to the fact that you have faced adversity and emerged stronger. Scars do not define you by what broke you. They define you by what you have conquered. Society often teaches us to hide our scars, to be ashamed of them, to cover them up as if they are imperfections. But the truth is, scars are a part of who we are, a visible or invisible reminder of the experiences that have shaped us into the person we have become. Instead of feeling ashamed, we should wear them with pride, embracing them as symbols of courage and survival. Scars are proof that healing has taken place. They are the aftermath of pain, but they also represent the body's ability to recover. Every scar carries a story of endurance, of having been hurt but having found the strength to move forward. Whether they come from an accident, surgery, heartbreak, loss, or failure, they show that even though you were wounded, you did not let it destroy you. The very existence of scars means that you have healed, that you have continued to live despite the pain. The process of healing is not always easy, and sometimes the wounds take longer than expected to close, but eventually they do. The scar remains as a reminder, not of suffering, but of survival. Scars also teach valuable lessons. Every mark on our body or soul has something to tell us about our journey. Some scars remind us to be careful, to learn from our mistakes, to approach life with more wisdom. Others remind us of our strength, of moments when we thought we would not make it but did. They show us how far we have come, how much we have grown, and how capable we truly are. Instead of seeing them as something ugly or unwanted, we should see them as lessons carved into our being, guiding us forward with wisdom gained from experience. Many of the most inspiring people in the world have scars, both seen and unseen. They have gone through tragedies, failures, and heartbreaks, but have used their scars as motivation rather than letting them become limitations. They did not let their pain define them. Instead, they transformed it into something meaningful. They used their experiences to inspire others, to build resilience, to achieve greatness. The most beautiful souls are often those who have been through the toughest battles and have emerged with hearts full of empathy, strength, and wisdom. They do not hide their scars. They share their stories, proving to others that healing is possible and that pain can be turned into power. Wearing your scars with pride means refusing to be ashamed of your past. It means owning every part of your journey, even the painful moments, because they have contributed to who you are today. There is no shame in being hurt, in failing, in struggling. These experiences are part of the human condition. What matters is how you rise after each fall, how you learn from each failure, how you continue to move forward despite the hardships. Scars are a sign that you have not given up, that you have chosen to keep going even when it was difficult. Embracing your scars is also an act of self-love. It is a declaration that you accept yourself as you are, with all your flaws and imperfections. Society often places unrealistic standards of perfection, making people feel like they must hide anything that does not fit the ideal image. But true beauty is not found in perfection. It is found in authenticity. The most powerful and inspiring people are those who embrace their uniqueness, who do not feel the need to hide their scars, but instead show them with confidence. When you wear your scars with pride, you send a message to the world that you are unashamed of your past, that you have embraced your journey, and that you stand tall despite everything you have been through. Some scars may never fully fade, and that is okay. They are not meant to disappear. They are meant to remind you of what you have endured and how much you have grown. Instead of wishing them away, honor them. Honor the battles you have fought. Honor the tears you have shed. Honor the strength it took to keep going. Your scars are a roadmap of your journey, proof that you have lived, that you have experienced, that you have survived. There is also something deeply liberating about accepting your scars. When you no longer feel the need to hide them, you free yourself from the weight of shame and insecurity. You allow yourself to be seen as you truly are, without the need for masks or pretenses. This level of acceptance brings a deep sense of peace, knowing that you are enough, just as you are, with all your experiences, mistakes, and struggles. True confidence comes not from hiding who you are, but from embracing every part of yourself. Your scars may even serve as a source of inspiration to others. When you openly share your story, when you show that it is possible to heal, to move forward, to find strength after pain, you give others hope. Many people feel alone in their struggles. believing that no one understands their pain. But when they see someone who has been through similar hardships and has emerged stronger, they realize that they too can overcome. Your scars can be a source of encouragement, a beacon of hope to those who are still in the process of healing. Wearing your scars with pride is about shifting your mindset. Instead of seeing them as flaws, see them as symbols of resilience. Instead of feeling ashamed, feel proud of your strength. Instead of hiding them, let them remind you of your journey and how much you have overcome. The more you embrace them, the more you free yourself from the fear of judgment, from the need for validation, and from the pressure to conform to unrealistic standards. Life is a journey of ups and downs, victories and struggles, joys and pains. No one goes through it unscarred. But those scars, whether physical or emotional, are what make you unique, what make you strong, what make you who you are. They are not a source of shame, but a source of pride. They show that you have lived, that you have experienced, that you have grown. And when you wear them with confidence, you not only honor your own journey, but also inspire others to do the same. There is beauty in imperfection, in the stories written on our skin and in our hearts. There is beauty in the battles fought and won, in the struggles that have shaped us, in the resilience that has carried us through. Every scar tells a story, and that story is worth sharing, worth celebrating, worth wearing with pride. So stand tall, embrace your scars, and know that they are not a mark of weakness, but a badge of honor. You have survived, you have healed, and you are stronger than ever before. Wear your scars with pride, for they are a testament to your journey, to your strength, and to the incredible person you have become. Pain is an inevitable part of life, an experience that touches every soul in one way or another. It comes in many forms: loss, failure, rejection, heartbreak, betrayal, disappointment. No one is exempt from its grasp. Yet what sets people apart is how they respond to it. Some allow pain to define them, shaping their identity around their suffering, carrying it like a heavy burden they can never put down. Others choose a different path. They allow pain to refine them, to mold them into a stronger, wiser, and more compassionate version of themselves. Pain, when seen through the right lens, is not a life sentence, but a catalyst for transformation. It is not meant to trap you in sorrow, but to elevate you into a greater understanding of yourself and the world around you. The difference between being defined by pain and being refined by it lies in perspective. When pain defines you, it becomes your identity. You see yourself as a victim, someone who has been wronged, someone whose life will forever be dictated by what has happened to them. You begin to replay the painful moments in your mind, letting them shape your self-worth, your decisions, and your outlook on life. Instead of moving forward, you remain stuck in a narrative of suffering, unable to break free. But when you choose to let pain refine you, you take control of your story. You acknowledge the hurt, but you do not allow it to consume you. You use it as a lesson, a stepping stone, a force that propels you toward growth. You become stronger, not in spite of your pain, but because of it. Pain has the ability to teach powerful lessons if you are willing to learn. It reveals truths about yourself, your relationships, and your priorities. It strips away illusions and exposes what truly matters. Pain forces you to confront your deepest fears, your weaknesses, and your vulnerabilities, but in doing so, it also shows you your strength. It is in the moments of greatest suffering that you discover who you really are. You learn patience, resilience, and the value of perseverance. You realize that pain is not the end of your story, but a chapter in a much greater journey. Those who let pain refine them come out of their struggles with a deeper sense of purpose, a clearer understanding of their own power, and an unshakable belief in their ability to overcome anything. One of the greatest transformations that pain brings is emotional depth and empathy. When you have experienced pain, you understand what it means to suffer, and this understanding allows you to connect with others on a profound level. People who have been through hardship often develop a heightened sense of compassion because they know what it feels like to hurt. They become more patient, more kind, more willing to lend a helping hand because they remember what it was like to be in that dark place. In this way, pain refines the heart, making it more open, more loving, more aware of the struggles of others. Instead of allowing pain to make you bitter, pain also has a way of breaking down the walls of comfort and forcing growth. It challenges your beliefs, your habits, and your understanding of life. When everything is easy and predictable, there is little motivation to change. But pain disrupts that comfort, pushing you into the unknown, forcing you to adapt, to find new ways of thinking, and to develop new strengths. It tests your limits, but it also expands them. What once seemed impossible suddenly becomes possible because pain has shown you that you are capable of surviving even the most difficult moments. Growth often comes disguised as struggle, but those who embrace the struggle emerge transformed. Letting pain refine you also means refusing to let it control your future. Many people allow their past pain to dictate their choices, their relationships, and their dreams. They build walls around their hearts, afraid to love again because they have been hurt before. They stop taking risks because they have failed in the past. They lower their expectations because they fear disappointment. But when you let pain refine you, you refuse to let it have that kind of power over you. You acknowledge the past, but you do not let it rob you of your future. You understand that every experience, even the painful ones, has brought you to where you are today. And instead of running from them, you embrace them as part of your story. Strength is not the absence of pain, but the ability to rise above it. The strongest people are not those who have never suffered, but those who have suffered and still choose to move forward. They have faced heartbreak and still choose to love. They have experienced failure and still choose to try again. They have known loss and still choose to find joy. They do not allow pain to break them. They allow it to build them. Their resilience is not a result of an easy life, but of a life that has tested them and found them unshaken. Pain also reveals what truly matters. When you go through difficult times, the unnecessary falls away, and you are left with what is truly important. You begin to see life with new clarity, appreciating the small moments, valuing genuine relationships, and focusing on what brings you fulfillment. Pain forces you to reevaluate your priorities, to let go of the superficial, and to invest in what is real. It teaches you to cherish the present, to find beauty in the simplest things, and to recognize that happiness is not found in the absence of struggle, but in the ability to find meaning within it. One of the most powerful ways to transform pain into growth is through purpose. Many of the world's greatest leaders, artists, and innovators have taken their pain and turned it into something meaningful. They have used their struggles to fuel their passions, to inspire others to create change. When you find a purpose within your pain, it no longer feels like suffering, it feels like a calling. Instead of dwelling on what has been lost, you focus on what can be gained. You channel your experiences into something greater than yourself, using them to make a difference in the lives of others. In doing so, you transform your pain from a burden into a gift. Healing does not mean forgetting the pain, but rather integrating it into your story in a way that empowers you rather than limits you. The scars you carry, whether visible or invisible, are not signs of weakness, but proof of survival. They show that you have faced adversity and come out on the other side. You do not need to erase them. You need to honor them as part of the journey that has made you who you are. When you stop resisting pain and start embracing the lessons it has to offer, you begin to see it not as an enemy, but as a teacher. At the end of the day, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. You cannot always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond to it. You can choose to let it define you, to let it weigh you down, to let it fill you with bitterness and regret. Or you can choose to let it refine you, to let it shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. You can allow it to be the fire that forges you into the person you were meant to be. Pain is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to transform you. It is not meant to be a prison, it is meant to be a lesson. And when you choose to embrace it, to learn from it, and to rise because of it, you become unstoppable. Life is a series of ups and downs, a journey filled with moments of triumph and moments of despair. No one is immune to failure, heartbreak, loss, or setbacks. At some point, everyone falls. The weight of circumstances, the burden of disappointment, and the sting of betrayal can bring even the strongest to their knees. But what defines a person is not how many times they fall. It is how many times they rise again. The true essence of strength lies in resilience, in the ability to stand back up when everything seems broken, in the determination to keep moving forward, even when the road is filled with obstacles. Rising again is not just about surviving hardships. It is about overcoming them, about emerging stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. When life knocks you down, it is easy to feel like giving up. The pain can feel unbearable, the struggles overwhelming, and the future uncertain. The weight of failure can crush your spirit, making you question whether you have the strength to carry on. Doubts creep in, whispering that you are not good enough, not strong enough, not capable enough. But in those moments of darkness, a choice must be made to remain on the ground or to rise again. Those who choose to rise understand that setbacks are not the end of the road. They are simply detours, lessons in disguise, opportunities to grow. No one reaches greatness without encountering obstacles. And no success story exists without its fair share of failures. Rising again is about refusing to let setbacks define your destiny. It is about seeing challenges as stepping stones rather than barriers. Resilience is not something people are born with. It is something that is built over time, through experiences, struggles, and perseverance. Every time you rise after a fall, you become stronger. Every time you push through the pain, you become more resilient. Strength is not found in never falling. It is found in the decision to stand up one more time, no matter how many times life has pushed you down. There will always be moments of doubt, moments when the fear of failure seems greater than the hope of success. But those who rise again understand that failure is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of effort. It means you tried, it means you cared, and it means you have the opportunity to try again, to learn from your mistakes, to grow into the person you are meant to be. The path to rising again begins with acceptance. Accepting that failure is a part of life, that pain is unavoidable, that setbacks happen to everyone. It is not a sign of personal inadequacy, but a universal experience. The sooner you accept this truth, the sooner you can begin the journey of healing and rebuilding. Denying or running from pain only prolongs suffering, but facing it head on allows you to take control of your narrative. You may not be able to change what has happened, but you can decide how you respond to it. You can either let it break you or let it build you. Rising again is about choosing the latter. Courage is an essential part of rising again. It takes courage to stand up after being knocked down, to trust again after being betrayed, to dream again after experiencing failure. Fear will always be present, whispering reasons to stay down, to avoid the risk of falling again. But courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move forward despite it. The greatest achievements in life do not come from playing it safe. They come from taking risks, from daring to believe in yourself, from refusing to let past failures dictate your future. Those who rise again are the ones who refuse to be defeated by fear, who find the strength to try one more time even when everything inside them says it is hopeless. One of the most powerful aspects of rising again is the realization that you are stronger than you think. When you look back at the challenges you have already overcome, you see proof of your resilience. There were times in the past when you thought you could not make it, yet here you are, still standing. Every hardship you have endured has prepared you for this moment, equipping you with the strength, wisdom, and experience needed to face new challenges. Pain may leave scars, but those scars are reminders of battles won, of struggles overcome, of moments when you chose to rise instead of surrender. Rising again also means letting go of the past. It is impossible to move forward while holding on to regrets, anger, or bitterness. The past cannot be changed no matter how much you dwell on it, but what can be changed is the way you move forward. Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means freeing yourself from the weight of what was so that you can embrace what can be. It means forgiving yourself for mistakes, forgiving others for their wrongs, and focusing on the possibilities ahead rather than the pain behind. Those who rise again understand that their future is not written by their past, it is created by their actions in the present. Hope is the fuel that drives the ability to rise again. Even in the darkest moments, even when everything seems lost, hope is the light that keeps you moving forward. It is the belief that better days are ahead, that setbacks are temporary, that pain has a purpose. Hope is not naive optimism. It is the deep, unwavering conviction that no matter how hard life gets, there is always a way forward. Those who rise again cling to hope, using it as a guiding force through the storms of life. They understand that every difficulty is temporary, that every hardship carries a lesson, and that every fall is an opportunity to stand taller than before. The journey of rising again is not an easy one. It requires patience, perseverance, and an unshakable belief in oneself. There will be moments of doubt, moments when the pain feels unbearable, moments when giving up seems like the easiest option. But those who rise again do not allow temporary struggles to define their permanent future. They understand that strength is built in the moments when everything seems impossible, in the choices made when no one is watching, in the quiet determination to keep moving forward despite the odds. Every great comeback begins with a decision to rise. No matter how many times life has knocked you down, no matter how deep the pain, no matter how hopeless things may seem, the power to rise again lies within you. It is not about waiting for the perfect moment or the right circumstances. It is about choosing to take the first step, even when it feels like the hardest thing to do. It is about believing in yourself when no one else does, about finding the strength to keep going when the world tells you to stop. Rising again is not just about overcoming difficulties. It is about transforming them into something greater. It is about turning pain into wisdom, failure into experience, and setbacks into stepping stones. It is about proving to yourself that no matter what happens, you will always find a way forward. The most powerful people in the world are not those who have never fallen. They are those who have fallen and chosen to rise again, time and time again. They are the ones who have turned their struggles into strength, their pain into purpose, their failures into lessons. No matter where you are in life, no matter how many times you have been knocked down, you have the power to rise again. You have the strength, the resilience, the courage within you to stand up, to keep going, to chase your dreams despite the setbacks. The journey will not be easy, but it will be worth it. Because every time you rise again, you become stronger. Every time you refuse to give up, you prove to yourself that you are unstoppable. Life may knock you down, but it will never be able to keep you there, because you will always rise again. The essence of life is not found in never falling, but in the ability to rise again after every setback. Pain, failure, and adversity are inevitable, but they do not define who we are. Our response to them does. Strength is built in the moments when we choose to stand up despite the weight of our struggles. Every hardship carries a lesson. Every scar tells a story of resilience, and every fall is an opportunity to rise higher than before. When we embrace our struggles as stepping stones rather than obstacles, we transform our pain into power and our failures into wisdom. No matter how many times life knocks us down, we must always remember that we hold within us the strength to rise again, stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever. Our journey is not defined by how many times we fall, but by our unwavering will to stand back up and keep moving forward.